Imagine standing in your backyard, tools in hand, ready to take on your next DIY project. You've watched the tutorials, gathered the materials, and are feeling that rush of independence. It feels empowering, doesn't it? You're creating something from scratch, taking control, and solving problems on your own. But hold on. Have you stopped to consider where all those tools came from? Or how you learnt to use them in the first place? Even the most self-sufficient seeming projects are often built on a web of dependencies. Tools, materials, knowledge, often provided by systems you didn't create. So what does this mean for self-sufficiency? Is it all an illusion? Or is there a way to navigate between true independence and reliance on the systems around us? Let's take a closer look at practical self-sufficiency in today's world. The idea of total independence is often associated with self-sufficiency. We think of self-sufficiency as living off the land, doing everything ourselves, and being free from external systems. However, in today's interconnected world, true independence is a myth. From the tools we use to the knowledge we acquire, everything is connected to systems that require cooperation and specialization. Even the simplest DIY project relies on tools like hammers, drills, or saws, products of industrial manufacturing. Consider a self-sufficient gardener who grows their own food. They might plant seeds and water them, but they're still using store-bought tools like shovels and hoses, and fertilizers that come from industrial processes. Similarly, skills like carpentry or farming are often learned through books, online tutorials, or advice from others. So no matter how independent we might feel, we're always dependent on something, whether it's knowledge, tools, or systems. True self-sufficiency, therefore, isn't about rejecting all reliance. It's about reducing it where it makes the most impact. When we talk about self-sufficiency, we're not talking about becoming an island. It's about taking control of specific areas in our lives to build resilience and reduce vulnerability. This means focusing on areas where you can have more control, like food, energy, and repairs. Take growing your own food, for example. It allows you to ensure more security during times when grocery store shelves may be bare or prices rise sharply. Learning useful skills like sewing, cooking, or repairing things empowers you to handle everyday problems without needing to rely on outside help. By doing so, you reduce your dependency on consumer systems. Additionally, embracing repair and reusing materials lowers waste and consumption. Using modern tools and resources wisely to maximize efficiency is another key element of self-sufficiency. With the right tools and knowledge, we can greatly improve our independence in practical ways. Some areas of life are more suited for self-sufficiency than others. Food, for instance, is a great place to start. Growing your own vegetables, preserving them, and learning to cook from scratch can significantly reduce your reliance on grocery stores and industrial agriculture. Begin small by planting herbs and vegetables, then scale up to larger crops like fruit trees or even livestock. Energy is another area where self-sufficiency truly pays off. By generating your own power, whether through solar panels or wood stoves, you can ensure that you're less affected by grid outages or price fluctuations. A backup solar generator, for example, can keep essential appliances running during blackouts. Repairs and maintenance are also vital. Learning how to fix things like a leaky faucet, sew clothes, or patch a tire saves you money and reduces the waste of throwing things away. And of course, being prepared for emergencies is key to self-sufficiency. Having a stocked pantry, knowing basic first aid, and being ready for disasters can help you feel less vulnerable in times of crisis. However, self-sufficiency doesn't mean doing everything alone. There are areas where relying on others is not just acceptable, it's necessary. Certain tasks, like electrical work, medical issues, or structural repairs, require specialized skills that most people don't have. In these situations, relying on professionals ensures safety and quality. Additionally, modern infrastructure, such as the internet, utilities, or public transportation, saves you time and energy. Embracing collaboration and community support also plays a significant role in self-sufficiency. Sharing resources, trading skills, or working with neighbors can enhance your independence without isolating you. The key to self-sufficiency is knowing when to focus on your own abilities and when to tap into the resources and expertise of others. If you're ready to embrace self-sufficiency, here's how to get started. Begin by identifying areas where you can reduce reliance. Focus on practical projects that make you feel more independent, such as growing food, learning basic home repairs, or fixing small household items. Invest in tools that will serve you well across multiple projects, like screwdrivers, a sewing kit, or a reliable set of garden tools. Learn from tutorials, books, or workshops to expand your knowledge, but don't hesitate to seek professional help when necessary. Remember, self-sufficiency isn't about isolating yourself from the world. It's about learning, improving, and using available resources wisely to build a more sustainable and empowered life. Finding the right balance between independence and reliance is crucial. Start by evaluating cost comparisons. If repairing something is cheaper than replacing it, then go for the repair. Consider the time and effort involved in completing the repair. If the task is simple and straightforward, it's worth doing. But if it's complex and time-consuming, replacement might be the better option. Think about the longevity of the fix. Will the repair extend the item's life enough to justify the time and effort? And, of course, always consider the environmental impact. Repairing an item instead of replacing it can save resources and reduce waste. Self-sufficiency isn't about cutting all ties. It's about making smarter, more thoughtful decisions. By focusing on areas like food, energy, and repairs, you can reduce your vulnerability and become more resilient without completely rejecting modern systems. The key is finding the right balance, reducing reliance where it matters most, embracing help when it's practical, and always aiming for sustainability. True self-sufficiency isn't about isolation. It's about gaining control over your life while staying connected to the world around you. So the next time you tackle a project or face a challenge, remember, it's not just about doing everything yourself. It's about knowing when to do it yourself and when to rely on the resources the world has to offer. If you're inspired to take control and embrace a more self-sufficient lifestyle, start by evaluating your own life. What can you do to reduce reliance, save resources, and increase resilience? Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more practical tips on self-sufficiency, independence, and living sustainably.